Welcome back to another episode of Who Am I to Judge podcast. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Solange.
Okay, the read.
I just wanted to get your reaction if I said that.
Look, that's how I be feeling.
But no, everybody, I'm Samantha. I am here. Alexis,
what's up?
How is Mello?
She's so comfortable. I'll show at some point. I'll show when she moves, but she's so comfortable right now. It's like sad. I feel bad moving her. Okay, but tell me about your life. What's going on?
What's new? Life is cool. This damn Mars retrograde and Mercury retrograde are a doozy. I'm definitely feeling that. Feeling very tired, like more tired than usual, which is apparently a symptom of the Mars retrograde specifically. But yeah, so I'm very exhausted. I'm in like information overload, like again, like it's just been so much that has come out. So much happening in the world, just every day. It's just a lot. It is a lot, like personally and, just what's happening in the world. So yeah, but I am trucking through, and I do feel like I have been feeling like I'm like ready to like get my health in order. Like,
what does that mean?
just eating better and going to the gym and just
hell yeah.
That's pretty much what I mean.
We love a gym girly.
Yes, and just like probably need to do like a detox of some kind.
So. Yeah, but also just like
I just be eating so many cookies and stuff.
I fucking love cookies.
I know, Alexis, but you would be like, you're ridiculous if you saw.
How many cookies are you eating?
I mean, like I'll get like a pack or something, and
what's in a pack? Like you're talking like chewy cookies, or like you're talking like nice cookies?
So Tate's, do you like Tate's cookies? Have you had that?
No,
it's like comes in like a green.
I've seen. Yes, I know.
Yeah. So there's like maybe like 6, and then there's like 2 in each, and like I might eat that whole thing.
Okay.
And then like there's like these big cookies that I get from the Yes Market, and it's like 6 of them, and it's just like hilarious. I cannot stop myself from like eating all of them.
That's hilarious.
So I'm just like, it's just time to do something different. So
I feel you.
How are you?
I'm good. I was in Maryland yesterday, but I'm back. I had to go to the doctor.
You just be coming back and forth so much.
I do.
Like that's nothing.
It is really nothing. You just sit on the Amtrak.
Oh right. You didn't drive this time.
No, it's just easy when you just sit on the counter. Oh my God! Look who's calling me, Courtney.
Aww.
Hey, Courtney. I'm recording the pod. I'll call you back. Bye. And so like basically just I mean it was fine. I went to the site today. I had to do some interviews. That was fine. Got to talk to one of the researchers who I love, but it's been fine. I feel like I have been excited for the holidays. And
okay, you're in the Christmas spirit.
I mean, hell yeah. Once you put up the lights, I was like, I'm in the Christmas spirit.
Alexa's just ready for her gifts.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that, because literally I was just saying to Julia, like, everyone knows my number one love language is what?
Gifts.
Exactly. Sure. Like that's not new. That's not new. And so literally the fact that you just brought it up organically, I'm like, yes, like I love gifts. And so that's pretty much it. Yes, I'm excited for the gifts, the food, and of course seeing my family. That'll be fun to hang out. And I love staying at Akila's house. But yes, the gifts are number one. And same with Mello. She loves her little gifts.
I've got a child at heart still.
I am.
I mean, I am too, I guess. But I just feel like I just be like, I just need money. Like the stress of life.
No, I'm like, give me my fucking
the
gift,
stress of life have gotten to me. I mean, I'll get gifts, but like Like my
Yeah, I
mom's
get
like,
you.
okay. My mom's like, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, I can barely like
I
I
will
was just
literally
like,
make a list, which
I
I
mean,
have.
we know, Alexis, we know your mom gets exactly what you want. Like you ask for the exact thing
It's
that I
very
get.
transactional. Yeah, it
But
is what it
yeah,
is.
so Alexis, I'm just laughing at the fact that I kind of want to bring this up, but like I think it's kind of
What?
funny how you think it's like weird for like people to kind of like look at people while they're opening their gifts.
Yeah,
So like
yeah,
if
yeah.
like a family member is like giving like one person like a sentimental gift and like they're like watching them open it and
Yeah, I
like
don't like
getting
it.
sentimental. Alexa's like ripping open her
I'm
gifts and
ripping open. I'm joyous. Even if it is sentimental, I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you. Like, and I'm ripping it open. Like, it's not, I have never been a gift giver that is like, it's like, even if it's touching, I'm still like more joyous than touched, if that makes sense. Like
it's just funny to me that you think that that's like awkward and weird. Like if we
I
all
just
just
think
like
it's like a
pause for
not
a
a
moment to
this is the
like, oh
thing.
my god, let's watch her open this one. We know it's
This is my
good.
thing. Christmas is not a ceremony. Christmas is
I
a
mean, we
joyous
know that,
occasion. And so it's
Alexis.
like I don't want to feel like I'm at a ceremony when it's coming to opening gifts. I want to feel like I'm like just organically ripping shit open, because that's what I did as a kid. Literally, there's so many videos of me like busting downstairs and it's just like all you see is just like wrapping paper. Like it is. My mom is like, hold on, and we're just like, "Rah!" Like we go feral.
Hilarious. Yeah, we were a little bit more like we weren't as like what you tell me sometimes, like like
Yeah,
literally like
yeah. Don't
one by one.
one
We
by one, you open them up. I changed the
yeah,
lyrics.
we don't really do that, but we do, we did like my mom like wanted to see our faces like
Yeah,
while we open them. But
yeah.
anyways, I'm
Let's move
glad you're in
on.
the Christmas spirit and
Yes, and
I need to
let's
get
do this
there.
thing. Let's get to it. And this week, who is on trial? My
Alexis, I wanted to ask you.
oh, fine, you can ask me.
Who's on trial, Alexis?
Today, it's only one person on trial, and it
Woo.
is Sean Carter. It is Jay-Z, Jigga Man, Big Pimpin' in the NYC, Hove, all of those
All the
aliases.
names.
It is
Yep.
him because it has come out. Not it has come out. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that because I don't want to get sued. Let's like they are
Everything we
very
talk about is
litigious.
allegedly today,
Right.
okay?
They're very litigious. But let me pull up the official headline. Okay, so this is the official headline. You saw that they caught. Sorry, this is a track, but you saw they caught the Luigi. Yes, Luigi.
I haven't been following everything, but I do know they found like they caught him at a McDonald's.
So a civil lawsuit was filed against Jay-Z. A woman claims he and Diddy raped her when she was 13 years old, and I think some more details have come out that it was an award show. One of Diddy's drivers, I believe, saw her, or just entourage saw her, invited her back, and that's when the alleged, encounter happened. So yeah, and so now like it
Jay-Z
has
was in
been
the room. It was
Jay-Z.
now it's so sorry. I just want to like clear up that
No, go ahead. Yeah.
this lawsuit came out a while ago, and it was just naming Diddy,
In a
and
in
it
a
was
in a
celebrity A and
John Doe,
celebrity
yeah.
B,
Mm-hmm.
and it has now been confirmed who the celebrity
Mm-hmm.
B, not celebrity B. It's like I
It
guess
was a
the
like they
John
call
Doe.
the John Doe, yeah, and that is Jay-Z. And I also wanted to say that do just to clear up some things before we get to our thoughts and opinions. Like, there's been a lot of talk about well, why aren't they doing a criminal case? And we will get to that because Jay-Z has given a statement. But there are a lot of people that break this down, but basically it is in the statute of limitations. She can no longer go after him criminally. And so
And I've heard people going back and forth about that, but
in the state
I've been going.
usually go
I've
ahead.
Yeah, I've just heard people being like, is it like it is within the statute or if it's not. But
I have
I'm going with
seen
it's
the
not. Yeah.
I have seen the looked at different. Basically, I've seen the law. Like, I've seen videos of people showing the like exact law. Like, apparently in New York, it's like if you do a crime with someone over 15 or over, or
Oh, right.
13 or
Yep.
13 or
Yep.
or yeah, basically she falls in the thing of like 20 years, and year 2000 was more than 20 years ago.
Got
So
it.
she can no longer go after him criminally. However, she can still go after him civilly. And that's what she's doing. And just to clear a couple of things up, a lot of people were just being like, well, what kind, like just starting the victim blaming, like, well, what kind of kid can go to just an award show at 13? Her dad's just gonna pick her up. And I've seen a lot of people who grew up in New York being like, this is how New York City goes down. Like, New York City key latch kids or whatever they're called, literally with latchkey kids would literally like get home or like, get off of school and have a free world on the subway,
They're
and
independent
so
by such a young age.
exactly.
I feel like we
but
need,
those
like
are
we're getting
sorry
into opinions.
Sorry, we don't want to get into the opinions. And just like lastly, I just want to say, like, they're just like literally skipping school to go to TRL is like a very normal thing. So long story short, what I'm trying to say is like this is not a weird thing to do. It's not weird for her to be in this situation. But regardless, I just want to say the statement, and then I want to get us to our thoughts.
Yeah. So I did want to just say, like, the moment that when I found out about the news, I found out about it with the statement.
Oh, okay.
Because apparently it came out very soon after.
It did.
Like,
it did.
The headline
very
came
soon.
out. So the headline comes out, and then that same day, a couple hours later, there's a post on Rock Nation's Instagram and Twitter account.
Mm-hmm.
And
are you going to read it, or do you want, I have it right here.
I want you to read it.
Okay. It says, my lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir. It has the opposite effect! ! It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very, all caps, public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny! All caps! ! These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint and not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. This lawyer, who I had done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these type of theatrics. I have no idea how you come to be such a deplorable human being, Mr. Busby, but I promise you, I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at their young age. It is unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. My heart and support goes out to the true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. You have made a terrible error in judgment, thinking that all celebrities, in quotes, are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the project of Brooklyn. We don't play those types of games. We have very strict codes of honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theories, fake physics, but he meant psychics. He meant psychics, but he said physics, will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me. If not, the seriousness surrounding harm to kids who would be laughable. So that was...
Well, yeah. I look forward to showing you how different I am. That's how he ends the statement.
So he says that statement. Busby then responds back and just been like, I have been bullied. My client and myself have been bullied by Jay-Z for many years. We only sent the demand letter, which is a total normal practice in law, because he was harassing and bullying the witness. And this is just what he does. And so then Jay-Z responds back basically being like, well, we should the Jane Doe should reveal herself, basically. Like, if I have to stand this scrutiny publicly, then she must also. So reveal yourself, basically bullying the victim and the alleged victim into exposing who she is. So all of this has transpired. The next day, the Mufasa premiere happens. Beyonce, Jay-Z,
So
and
crazy.
Blue are smiling with Mon and Matina. And this is also amongst the night before, Miss Tina had liked a, a post about Jay-Z and his
It was like the
lawsuit.
headline.
Then she wakes up the next day and says she was hacked. She doesn't play about her family. So all of this is just, it's literally like Elevator Gate 2.0, because it's just a
Literally.
bunch of drama surrounding, negative press surrounding this family and a lot of questions. So I'll kind of
Yeah.
open it up to you. Like, this conversation, I'm sure will go many places, but you can kind of just start with your initial reactions.
Woo. I mean, I just am like gonna take a little second because it has been a whirlwind of a couple days. Like the fact that we get the news on a Sunday, I'm pretty sure, and then like
Mm-hmm.
the Monday or the next day was the premiere. And so it's just fascinating, first of all, just how like the timing of all this, like the timeline of all this, and just I can't imagine just like the stress of like having to put on a smile. But I have a lot of thoughts. I've honestly like low key like have been like crashing out about this in my own like a way of just going down rabbit holes. Like I have been, watching some documentaries and just like
Mm-hmm.
really putting timelines together about Jay-Z. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like it's crazy that this is happening. Like it does feel like, you know, all of these celebrities that have just been the pinnacle of everything. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to look completely different
Mm-hmm.
very soon. And
That's real.
it's crazy to watch it happen. It's also crazy to watch how everybody else is receiving it and who is, just completely, which is just shocks me that people are just completely like willing to just dismiss these allegations right away
Mm-hmm.
after all of the things that we've seen over this year. We're not even talking about
Mm-hmm.
like we have seen, and this is his guy. Like I just am like, I mean, I have so many thoughts. I really want to get into for
Well, let's
me
first.
just
Why don't we? Sorry, go ahead. Finish your thought. I was gonna try to focus it for you, so it's more like we can just like hit it. But I was gonna
yeah,
say,
yeah,
what are your thoughts about his initial reaction? Like, this lawsuit comes out, because let's be clear,
yes.
I was trying to tell
Thank
somebody
you,
this, like,
Alexis.
since I was in fourth grade, I remember rumors about Jay-Z. Like, I remember it saying that he had an alleged baby with like a son that he doesn't ever take care of. I mean, there's been so many fucking rumors of Jay-Z and Beyonce and Jay-Z themselves, even with the fake baby bump and shit like that, like those rumors never address these things. However,
Right.
this is the first time that like a rumor has happened and all of a sudden he speaks, and he speaks in a very like non-PR
Yes.
way. And so what is your initial
Losing his
reactions to the
cool
statement?
and
There's typos, there's
yeah.
so many things.
Right. I mean, just so much. Like, yeah, it's shocking that because they never address things to have it come out and like everything they do is always super polished. And
Mm-hmm.
for it to come on, first of all, not even on like his personal account, like on the Rock
Mm-hmm.
Nation
His
account, like
business,
that
yes.
is wild and just
Mm-hmm. You're
very.
fucking up your brand. Like, you're putting
I
your
want to
brand
just
in with
say,
this.
yeah, you're putting your brand in this. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
causing a lot of headaches.
Yes.
Um, and then, like, I mean, it is a fully narcissistic reaction if I've ever seen one. Like,
Yeah.
and it's surprising because it was so like um informal, maybe. I don't know. Just like it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot. Like the fact that he's like taking digs at this man's like
I
cheap
mean,
suit, and that he is, I'm just like, this is not the time to be like putting people down for their wealth and their
and I
money,
feel
sir.
like it's
And talk about
literally,
greed
I
and honor.
agree. I agree. And I'm just
Don't
kind
get
of
me
like,
started.
it just goes, I agree. It was immediately clear this is coming from him. This is not a PR, because if this is PR, anybody that works for you should fire them immediately,
Like,
because
this
there's
is how
typos
you
in
talk.
it. But then, exactly. And then I was like, this is how you behave with Beyonce when you're pissed in the fucking family. But then secondly, it was just like, there were so many red flags to me of like a guilty person. And this is just my personal belief. Because there was no statement where it's just like, I flat out deny any accusation of this, but instead it was, well, why don't you go after me this way? What fully innocent person would ask the state or any lawyer to bring criminal charges amongst them? Like, that's already a weird action to me. And then secondly, I'm like, anybody in this situation that you would think their immediate reaction would be to protect their family. The fact that the media didn't even have to say anything about your family. You brought up Beyonce. You brought up Blue.
Your child.
Your first reaction was to use them as a shield. Okay. It was to try to hide behind this whole family look, Beyonce's brand. And I'm just like, and that's, to me, is very sinister, because you would think if anybody, if you were to make a statement at all that regarded your family, it would be like, leave them out of this. But instead you invoke them. So that was like very scary to me. And I think it's manipulative, because you're trying to use them as a shield. And then lastly, he's like trying to bank on the ignorance of the American people, that like we don't understand. It's like,
we can't look
the law, because we know that she can't go after you criminally, so don't try to manipulate it as as though she's trying to just go after me civilly. And why do you think that is?
It was the most desperate I've ever.
It was. And the last thing, and then it's just truly the last thing I want to say about the statement, and you can go, I want to hear your thoughts more. You at this point, sir, are out of touch, because you have lived the majority of your life as a multimillionaire. You are more like the CEO of United Healthcare. You are more like Tony Busby than you will ever be to anybody that's in the projects right now at Brooklyn. I don't care where you were born. I don't care where you spent the first 17, 16 years of your life. The majority of it has been in fucking penthouses, bitch. So don't try to sit here and try to evoke the projects now, when you are more like that man who just got shot in the middle of New York, who's a billionaire, than you are like us. You're not like us, sir. Like, basically, you're not like us. As much as you want to cosplay, you're not like us anymore. And so I just find that to be so strange, that he was trying to hit those notes. And ultimately, I think all those points fell flat.
I mean, and talk about out of touch. How about delusional, talking about I'm a young man from the projects in Brooklyn? Like, what? Sir?
You're pushing AARP. You're pushing like seniors. You're about to be 60. Yeah.
And nobody said, like, no, like that is particularly narcissistic. Okay. I just want to, like,
why do you say that?
Start there, because this is the image of himself. Like, it's just like, but it's not about his real, like, it's just like, and obviously, yes, I know that, like, I do feel like his, I'm like losing my train of thought. Sorry.
Well, you're talking about how it was narcissistic, and how it's like he's seeing himself as like a young man from the projects, just made it, and it's like, bitch, you're 60, like multi-billionaire who's best friends with Netflix people, like, the Netflix CEO and the Facebook CEO. Like, you're not like us. I don't know. And then it was also just ultimately embarrassing too, because I'm like, I want to know if, like, is this his typical behavior? Like, is this how he reacts when he is mad and angry, living in his fucking $200 million mansion, the highest selling house they've ever had in LA? I just want to say all these things to show you're just really not like us. Is that how you behave there? Because I'm just like, this is ultimately just so embarrassing.
And just, I did want to say, like, the fact that Jaguar Wright was like, you will respond. Like, and like, he has, like, has, like, she really has, like, gotten his attention. But I just.
How do you think he's feeling? I was going to ask you because I'm like, because it shows that he's watching and he cares what we think. And he's getting, I see nothing but, I mean, obviously there's positive press, but the majority is like nitpicking the typos and all these other things with this fucking statement. Do you think he's regretting it at all? And to do it with on your business page, I'm sorry, we didn't even touch on that, but it's just like, you are now mixing your brand in this fucking mix. Like, people are going to the Rock Nation page to learn about this lawsuit now and what you have to say about it. You should not want those two connected.
Yeah, but no, I see more digging your heels in, like the fact that it's still up, you know, like, and I feel like he is panicked. Like you said, this is a certain level like that we have not seen. And he's, I think, regretting a lot of things. I think he's looking back. I think he's thinking about a lot, because that is what I want to actually bring up in terms of the statement.
Who Am I to Judge podcast is getting their own Patreon, honey, and we're talking about our Queen Bee. You know we love her so much, so of course we had to have a separate spot for us to just talk all things Beyonce. We're talking music, we're talking documentaries, we're talking relationships, we're talking love addiction, everything, all things Beyonce. So if you want to hear some real BeyHive talk, click the link in the bio. Launching December 27th. Go check it out.
Good job, B. When we talk about we don't play these games, let's start at the beginning. You've made a terrible error in judgment thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I don't know what that means.
He's probably just, I'm assuming he's trying to say that Tony Busby has like grown up with money and he's not that.
Okay. I'm a young man who made it out of the project of Brooklyn. We don't play these type of games. We have a very strict code and honor. We protect children.
But that's not true.
But let me talk about how
Aaliyah was a child. Okay. And you and Dame Dash have had interviews and documentaries where y'all talk about how it was a game of who's going to smash Aaliyah first, and Dame Dash did it first. Like,
can we talk about
Foxy Brown,
Jay-Z's alliances? Like, we are not going to, like, literally just like how
these are all alleged.
Kendrick Lamar in Whacked Out Mural says, like, y'all are all in denial. Jay-Z's besties, if we want to like draw a chart out, it's P-Diddy over his career, R. Kelly, like,
so that's
those
why
two.
That's and why then, yeah, sorry, go ahead, finish.
And just on the R. Kelly's hip, because I literally last night, the rabbit hole that I went under, you want to talk about not protecting children or protecting children, like, it was a known fact back then that R. Kelly was married to a 15-year-old.
It was in a magazine where they published their wedding fucking record they married a 15-year-old, and you still went on tour with this nigga.
Then all these grown-ass men are fighting over this young girl, 15, that he married him. Then he goes on to put out an album with R. Kelly.
Go on tour with this man.
Mind you, this is the timeline of events, right? The allegations of R. Kelly come out in the beginning. I think it was like February 2002.
Where he's like peeing, the girl pees on him who's like 15.
Yes, and like the Chicago, you know, in the news, it comes out. The next month, Best of Both Worlds come out, which is their first
joint
album. So, okay, let's just say, well, okay, they already recorded the album.
Who cares? You said you care about the kids, sir.
Exactly. You said that you have honor.
We don't play those games.
And then you go on tour with this man. And then don't go look up on Getty the tour pictures. It's all of them. All of them there, okay? And then, so after that, right, like, okay, he does the video goes around the world. He goes to, he has the court case, whatever. Jay-Z then comes out with another album with this man. In that video, everybody has said in the video that this girl is obviously underage. So it's like you chose to ignore that
I
for
mean, it just makes his
decades.
statement. It just makes his statement so disingenuous right there because
And
it's like we don't play those games. Yes, you do. You've played them
I'm just
before, and
like
maybe you not
that.
directly, but your
I
friends
feel
did.
like, yeah, and I just feel like I'm having an awakening of just like, I can't believe that Jay-Z has, we've just all been pretty asleep to
It's not a sleep, but I
it.
think that truly he the rebrand he went through when he like officially got with with Beyonce,
Mm.
and it wasn't instantaneous, right? It was like, you got with a bad boy, Jigga Man, whatever. But eventually he
Nigga took
became
Beyonce multiple.
rebranded, and it was like, I'm a family man, I'm a businessman, I can be taken seriously, and I'm smart, and all these things, and it's just like, um sorry, I forgot what I was gonna say. Well, but I guess my point that I'm trying to say is that like it's disingenuous because we know who you've run, who even if you did nothing with any underage person, we know who you hung around. And if you don't play those games, you would have flat out been like, I will
And
not do business with your ass. I will not be, I will
yes,
not give you a platform. I will not bring
and
you on
I'm
tour
so
with me because
sorry.
we don't play
You
those
have,
fucking games in the street.
but you have been around
Yeah,
young
but even
women.
if we gave
We,
him the benefit of the doubt, it still doesn't check out.
yeah, it doesn't. But I'm just saying, even on that tip, it's like, okay, you got with Beyonce at 19. There's Foxy Brown. There's Rihanna. There's
So then let's
all
get
of these
into that. Let's get
examples.
into that because I'm just like, let's first start. We'll
Mm.
save Beyonce for the end because I'm sure that's going to take the longest. But even Rihanna, you had a 16-year-old in an office from 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. where you said there's no way she's leaving unless it's out the window or out the door. You then which to me would be, first of all, that contract's not null and void. She signed that under stress,
Right.
okay? But then secondly, it's just like the inappropriate relationships they've had. And I'm not saying I know anything, but I'm just saying that fucking video where she's accepting the Grammy and he keeps interrupting, to me, was a little too comfortable and flirty for a boss. I'm sorry, none of my bosses would have done
Yeah.
that with me. Like, and
Yeah.
so it's just like,
Yeah. And
I
just like, I hate how he's also just kind of like pitted these women against each other too. Because just like we never would have gotten a Rihanna
that's
Beyonce
true.
thing.
That's
Like,
true.
and then so yesterday when I was in my rabbit hole, I read every single lyric from both of the joint albums. And it's like Foxy Brown was on one of them and she made a little shot at Beyonce. And I'm just
What
like,
did she say?
she was just like,
You
hold
don't have to
on.
do it word for word, but just what was the gist?
It was just like she said something like, uh-oh, like like I'm not that broad, something,
Oh,
uh-oh,
okay.
and then
Oh,
like went
okay.
into her verse. And it's just like,
Yes.
so yeah, like you've had these women like pitted against each other, and I'm sorry. I'm just so disgusted. Last thing I want to say about the albums, the joint albums, is that they're so like, I screenshotted a couple lyrics that I was just like, oh my god, like so they're basically, I just can't believe
I
that.
don't think we've been asleep. I think we've just been high. Like, he has been able to use Beyonce as a shield, and because Beyonce as a brand is so fucking tight and like polished and strong, he is
Yeah.
able to kind of fall under her veil even when things are inappropriate. Because the most glaring thing is them alone being together are the most, is a statement to his how he is inappropriate. However, that even doesn't seem to get talked about in a more serious way because we're 32.
Mm,
There is no world where I would be talking to a 19-year-old right now. I
mm,
have no interest in a 19-year-old. To me, there's nothing in common. And if you told me or any of my male friends told me they were talking to a 19-year-old, I'd be like, you have no fucking business dealing with her. And so
mm,
that's why I'm just like, even if she is 18, it's weird that America has such an obsession with just because you're 18, that means you're like free to do whatever. You're still fucking young and impressionable and learning. And just because yesterday you were
yeah.
17 and today you're 18 doesn't mean you have a whole new fucking mindset. It is
No.
weird that a 30 something year old man wants to be at all with a 19-year-old fucking woman.
And get like Drea Kelly was also 19 when she met
Mm-hmm.
R. Kelly. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like that seems to be the age, like 19.
But it's also just like, if you can believe that a 30-something-year-old man would go after somebody who's 19 with that level of age gap difference, why is it hard to believe that a 20-something-year-old man would go after a
Right.
13-year-old with that type of age gap difference? Allegedly, especially when his
And
friends are fucking those people, because that's proven. That's been taken to a court of law at this point. R.
yeah,
Kelly is
one of
proven,
them is in
so
jail, and one of them, well, both of them are.
yes, we
Like,
know that his friends rolled like that. So why would it be hard to believe that he just all of a sudden drew a line, even though there's all these rumors flying? He drew a line, but so happened to find a 19-year-old that he likes. And you're telling me, sorry, that's the last thing.
No, go ahead.
And you're telling me that they had no flirty tension interaction until she was 19? Bullshit if you believe that shit. This is all alleged, but bullshit.
And also, it's like that, like, people, I hate when people, I feel like people have some shame about the fact that, and they should, that was the norm back then. Like, that was, and like,
even if it was the norm, it was illegal.
And even if it was the norm, even if it wasn't illegal, like when the husbands back in 1919 are marrying 12-year-olds, it's like, it's still wrong, and it's still patriarchal society, like, dominating women. And it is just, it's always been wrong. Like,
I agree. It's always been wrong.
And like you said, a 13-year-old at a, after party in New York City is so easily,
or an award show. You literally went to fucking see Beyonce in Good Morning America. You're telling me that you're telling me that a kid that's 13 in New York, when they say bye mom, going to school, can't just take the fucking subway to a fucking award show?
If
like,
we
it's just
lived
stupid.
In New York, we would have been.
That's what I'm saying. And so that's why, and it's just like, I'm also not in it
at
to
13.
And also I'm like, I'm also,
guess what? At 13, we were in freaking 8th grade. We were obsessed with like Omarion and all
B2K and all them. And my thing is that I just don't want to be a person who's victim blaming. Well, like, what was she doing? Da da da. These are the hottest rappers in the game at the moment, and they give you attention. Of course, an 8th grader or 9th grader is going to take them up on that. And I don't care.
Not even.
I don't give a fuck if whatever the girl did in that situation. I don't even care if she said, I like this. The fact of the matter is, no minor can give consensual, can give any consent that is worthwhile and would stand in a court, at that age, especially when the other person is 20-something years old. So it just doesn't fucking matter to me. And I feel like
I'm just done.
And it's just like, I feel like, to me, it's not hard. This is all alleged, but it's just not hard to believe, because I know that he was a 30-something-year-old man having business with a 19-year-old, which right now as a 32-year-old, I would find disgusting. And I don't care if you're like, well, you're a woman and men are different.
No.
If my cousin, who is 32 years old, told me he was talking to a 19-year-old, I would laugh. Concerned. I would be concerned. Yeah. I would not think that's cute, funny. I would not be like, well, you know how men are. I would be disgusted. You have no business with somebody that age at 32 or at any age in the 30s. And so, but I do want to bring this to answer you, like, because I sent you that TikTok where the girl was like, she basically had a picture up of Beyonce leaving the elevator after Solange beat that man down, where she was just looking very like straight-faced and walking to her car. And then she put a picture of Beyonce at the Mufasa, smiling, standing next to Jay-Z, and was like, this is the same situation. This is the same person. Like, this is the same mindset you're in, where it's like, I'm going to stick beside him, So I guess my thought is like, what do you think this does to Beyonce's brand, or even their brand as the Carters? Like, I mean, they went on they're our brand, right? They went on tour together, right? They have albums together. Absolutely. What do you think it does to that brand? But also, do you think if this is just the tipping point, and it unravels like Diddy did, to the point where there's like jail and there's like court coming, do you think that Beyonce would stay?
I pray to God that Beyonce would leave if it got to that point. Like, please. Because I do feel like, it's you're obviously going to start looking at Beyonce sideways because it's like,
Absolutely.
like this is the man that you chose to have children with. But
And her whole brand at one point was like, women empowerment, feminism. She had fucking, what that girl name? The girl talking about that feminism poem on her shit. Like, this is a crime against a woman. Like, it would be bad.
Oh my God. Everything about the optics right now are just insane. Like, and it goes to show like what level of power and untouchableness this man does have and feels that he have. The fact that he the next day was on the red carpet at a Disney premiere is insane.
Absolutely.
Okay, and smiling, it's insane. It's like, whoa, like this is crazy.
But I don't know. It's just so interesting because I feel like at this point, the Carters, like that whole brand is just like kind of destroyed. I mean, like I don't think anybody would look at them as like, at one point I was even idolizing them, like power couple. Absolutely. Like I think it's destroyed.
I mean, I think oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think that people really need to examine their parasocial relationships with these people. Just like you were saying, at one point you were like, yes, like this power couple, blah, blah, blah. We all have. But like, it's weird to me when I see people like caping for, like Charlemagne was just like.
I saw that and I'm like, for what?
Yeah, it's just like, this is crazy. Like I
think that's the fear. I think that's the fear. I don't
understand with all the proof.
I mean, you saw Shaq right. Like on his show. Shaq literally, they asked Shaq about it, and Shaq got up and walked off the set. Like, and while the people were laughing, I mean, I think I'll never forget Carlos the King. I love him. He has a podcast, and he's like very into just pop culture. He was one of the people that helped start Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, he's just very much in like pop culture world, I guess. Mm-hmm. He said that there are two families that run Hollywood. It's the Smiths, so like Will Smith and them, and then it's the Carters. Like, and I just feel like we're just seeing that power right now, that no one's willing to touch it. And if they are willing to touch it, they're only trying to be like, well, let's just see what happens. You're innocent till proven guilty. There's no grace that given to the 13-year-old at the the person now, the alleged victim, of like, well, it's very hard, and that's a very that's very brave, and I hope that they get the justice they deserve. We only see the grace going to Beyonce and Jay-Z. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's because we see the power of it. I mean, I think even it's not lost on me that then literally 2 days after this dropping, we then get another Netflix teaser. Like, all of this is to take this like attention off of this optics, right?
And it's working for some people. Like it did.
That's crazy.
It is. But like, it is definitely, I mean, when I read these lyrics, like I want you to hear some of these lyrics that are off of
from what?
The joint album Best of Both Worlds, and this is after he has allegations and that video circulating the world, right? Mm-hmm. Jay-Z's verse: the moral of the tale, if you love your tail, treat her well, keep her away from Cove and Kel, because we can't stop pimping. We put it on her. We put it on her till she can't stop limping. She'll be a goner. You can play tough guy in the corner. Okay, that's one verse.
That's terrible. It sounds like it's painful. Yeah. It sounds like you're actually hurting her. Then she's fucking limping, bitch. Like, that's not cute. And I don't want to hear that. Well, it's rap lyrics.
No,
we can talk about rap and not have to talk about harm against women. Don't tell me you don't play those games.
You're making songs with
R. Kelly. Yes.
Like, you can't tell me that y'all are not, like, these lyrics got printed out and now we can all read them. It says, sex so intense, all that's on my mind. It ain't feel this good since the very first time. I'm pulling her close, she pulling away. I'm trying to kiss her mouth, but she keeps turning her face.
That's weird.
Cute sex game. Like I'm just like, this man. I want to just say personally, for me, I'm just like, with that timeline, and I started rewatching the Survivor R. Kelly. Jay-Z
I
is
mean, I don't think he's squeaky
absolutely
clean. That's all I'm saying. That's my
he
personal opinion. I don't think he's
he
squeaky
could
clean.
never be. How are you making money and breaking bread and going on tour with R. Kelly, my nigga?
And I'm just like, your response really alarms me because I'm like,
Yeah, very
I mean,
alarming.
literally, there has been so many rumors about Beyonce to the point where we literally were accusing her of wearing a fake fucking stomach. There's been so many like rumors about her not paying songwriters. There's been so many rumors about, I mean, to the point where Mama Tina will say something, but you never see Beyonce glorify it because of the fact that it's just above her. She's like, that shit's so outrageous. Why would I even give it the time of day?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that this was not one of those things,
Yep.
and I just want to say, and I know people will be like, because he's getting accused of such a serious crime,
Right.
he was literally accused of fathering another child and leaving that woman to just deal with it. That is extreme, terrible thing that you have a kid just running, allegedly have a
When
kid
you
just
first
running
just
around
got
here,
married,
and you
yeah.
didn't even talk about that. Okay, so like it's just like, don't give me the thing of, well, this is serious.
And
That was fucking serious. Why did you say
and
shit about that?
and if you knew that you didn't do it, you would just not say, you just wouldn't have made this statement. It would have been very concise. It would have denied it. It would have said, we're going to be dealing with this with our lawyers, and that would be it. It would not be, so emotional, and yeah, it's just absolutely it's insane. I can't believe that.
It's
And people are going
insane.
to be holding on to the old earth, and I know that,
What does that
I
mean?
mean, we talk about in astrology,
The
remember?
old earth
Yes,
friends.
things are changing. We're in the age of Aquarius. Shit's getting real. Just like Cat Williams and Kendrick Lamar have been talking about all year. The truth is coming out. We see our governments collapsing and things like that. And I feel like on a more personal note, I didn't realize that like this was going to collapse. Like I know other people did, like celebrity cultures like collapsing, but it's just wild to
This
see
is
it
just
and to
my,
live through
I
it and to
agree.
watch these people, like you said,
This is
watch
my hope.
another elevator
Mm-hmm. 2.0,
day.
elevator gate. Um, but it's just crazy because I just feel like this is my hope that like no woman, especially Beyonce, this is just my personal opinion. You will get more conversations like this, but probably even more honest on our soon coming Patreon.
Yes.
But BeyHive Buzz, because we love her, but you can also love something critique it. But anyway, I was just gonna say, I just hope that like she does not, that like no woman, especially her, is making their husband who is straight god. It's just like they can do no wrong. You're gonna explain it away.
Right.
Like you're just, they are the prize and you're gonna stand beside them. There has to be boundaries, there has to be limits, and
Hmm.
no one is your god but God. And so it's just like, I hope that I mean, it's hard to even say I hope it's not true because I feel like that just in my mind is somehow like dismisses the claim, the actual victim, because it's like, okay, then I'm assuming that she's just making it up, like
Right.
it's just like I am a person that will always inclination
Yeah.
to believe women because I am a woman and I have seen with my
Absolutely.
own eyes the harm that men feel so entitled, to do against women. So it's like
Yes.
I will always be more inclined to believe women. So I hope that she gets the justice that she deserves. And if that justice is that he is found guilty, he pays her money, whatever it is, I hope that we do not get a weird statement from the Carters basically saying that like this is a situation of a black man getting trapped in the system, yada yada
Yeah,
yada.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
hope that they don't try to weaponize that. I hope that she's not just like, well, I'm going to stand beside them. I hope she takes a hard look at this relationship and it's like, he
Mhm.
has cheated on you. Your sister seems like she might not like him like that or fuck with him all the way like that. This is all
Mhm.
my opinion, alleged.
Have
And then
daughters.
it's just like you look at him with such admiration. You have daughters, like you can be you. This is embarrassing your brand.
Mm.
Ultimately, this will affect you, Beyonce, as well as
Yeah,
him. I just hope that we don't get at the end of this that's just like, well, she's gonna stand beside him,
I know.
because I that
I
would be
really,
so sad.
I know it would be very sad, especially because the moral of the story is like you can be strong and independent, and
And I
yeah,
get,
and
and
just
I
like for her, it's just like for her daughters, like this.
And I get people can make mistakes, but you still have to face the consequences. You still have to face the consequences.
Yes, and to be so boisterous and boastful and like you have never whatever, and it's just like don't let us pull up the receipts, my nigga. Like don't let us, because it's very clear why in the past 2 decades the people that you have done the most business with, like low key, have been these predators that are literally under the jail.
Yes, literally,
So,
my neighbor in Brooklyn here.
And I'm just like, am like, I'm so sick of people being like, but Jay-Z's so smart because he knows
what makes you say that?
I'm just like, no, actually, he has some serious holes. And I want everybody to,
what is the smart shit we've seen? I would like to know that.
I mean, just the fact that he has been able to, I feel, and this is like, I feel like this is known. I feel like people know this about Jay-Z, that he uses people. He, he puts himself first.
This is a black man who has we always talk about this, a deal with the NFL. This man is not like a good person.
In terms of just like, all of the business deals that he's gone through, even with Beyonce, like it's just more clear than ever that like that is his tactic of maintaining innocence, is like
Beyonce
and his kids.
Mm-hmm. Yes, using them as a shield. And that to me is the most sinister thing out of all of this.
And you know what's also weird? I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, he is, technically, like, this is like Beyonce's, like, this is her mother, like, he is an in-law at this point.
Absolutely, he's an in-law.
Picture.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's so crazy.
And I'm just like, do they really believe this? Like, I don't know. It's just like, y'all, like the family, meaning, the immediate family, Beyonce, Solange, Almatina, the dad, like they all were alive when he had the Jigga Man, person, like a reputation. They all probably have heard rumors before her and Jay-Z ever even got together. They probably then heard more rumors when they were together. You're telling me you, without a shred of doubt, believe that he is squeaky clean. Part of me is just like, you cannot say that in good faith. Like, right. I just don't think you can. This is all alleged.
People just want to overlook it because of,
and it's the thing,
what
if
Jay-Z means to them, and it's like,
that's so selfish though, because there's also somebody, a real woman at the end, on the other side of this, who also wants her justice. And I get, you probably are thinking, even if it did happen, it's been over 20 years, he's a different person now. No, but even if he is, you still have to answer to it. Pay her the fucking money, then do whatever she wants. Don't fight it. But I feel like you have an ego. You know that if you settle, the implication is that you did it. Yes. Yeah. So you want to fight this tooth and nail. You're probably hoping that you can just like litigate this back and forth to the point where she has no money, but y'all have the money to go for years on this, Absolutely. And that's the more sinister part. And so I hope that Tony Busby takes this shit pro bono, truly. And it just like, it's like, I don't care. Right. I'm going for it because, it is, it's disgusting, but I just hope that Beyonce, whatever the outcome is negative, I hope that she shows us who she truly is, which is, you said you were a feminist. You said you were about Black women. You said Black women and Black women first. You talked about you brought the girlies to the forefront, like the ballroom culture, the Black women, queer, trans Black women who constantly get beaten, battered down by these men. You talk about murdered by these men. You talk about Malcolm X being the most disrespected person as a Black woman. I hope to God you stand on business then, and you say I'm not tolerating that. Even if I love him so much, dangerously in love, I'd rather die young. I care more about myself and my kids, to put them in an environment where they can see an example, in this way.
Oh my goodness. Yes. And I hope that Beyonce, people have been saying that, like, I have seen like some takes that they think that she's like been putting out all these businesses to like, prepare her own.
Maybe, but I think she's standing with him.
But also, I just hope that like she does this Super Bowl. I mean, not Super Bowl. She does, that's what it does. She does the Christmas thing. And then I just pray next year that I'm so sorry. Like, there's no way I can ever overlook this timeline of him doing business, making these nasty albums, and going on tour with this man after that video with that child circulating
I
the
think
world.
that I agree.
Jay-Z is,
But
in my eyes, a narcissist and
yeah, a lot of people
a
agree with you on that.
predator.
But I think what she's banking
I'm
on is
so
that she's about to take a heavy push with momentum behind it, starting in Christmas, starting out with this. I'm assuming a rollout of a tour, and I'm thinking she's probably hoping that like that will
no.
overshadow all of whatever else comes out. That will overshadow it. But
I
I
mean,
feel
for
like
some people it might, but for some people
oh, it
it
won't.
won't.
I also think Tony Busby is being very strategic. I've seen a lot of people say this on TikTok where it's like he, dropped the charges were filed and came to be right before the Mufasa, premiere.
Mm-hmm.
They believe kind of like we'll probably see something closer to Christmas, like right before her halftime show, probably something like near the Grammys, like basically to also give to overshine what's happening, the distraction.
That's their leverage, yeah.
Exactly. So I think that we will. What I'm trying to say is, I think we'll see something before then. But I want to say this last thing, and then we probably should start wrapping it up. But like, I watched this TikToker. Well, she's actually a PR person in Hollywood, but she says moonlights as a TikToker. Her name is Molly McPherson. She's a PR person. She literally just wrote a piece. She just wrote a piece in Forbes on this, and she's like very well respected. She's on like the news, like giving her takes on through the PR lens. And she talked about how she thought she, as a PR crisis person who has dealt with like celebrity crises, well-known celebrity crises, and tried to flip them, she thinks that like there's no world where Mama Tina got hacked and the hacker accidentally liked it. She believes that was like a message that was basically her trying to send a message to Beyonce, like, you need to distance yourself, and then behind the scenes there's tension where it's like Beyonce's like, you need to basically fall in fucking line. And she then sends this message saying I was hacked, whatever. And she was like, from my PR lens, I'm thinking there's turmoil in the home. Like this is not a peaceful image that we're thinking we're seeing at the premiere with the smiling faces. Like there's actual drama behind the look of it. Sure. And I'm like, isn't that the Carters? Like literally, your sister is swinging on your husband. 20 seconds later, the doors open. You're walking like it's nothing, smiling for the cameras. Isn't this the Carters, right?
That is like the worst. That is such a terrible image.
You know what Shahani said?
That's the worst.
Shahani was like, I mean, listen to Sandcastle. She's talking about like dishes smashed on the counter, like they're throwing shit in the house. Like this is what better not be. She was like, if the kids go to sleep, like they're throwing stuff, like they're not this happy. I'm like, that's so funny.
No,
that's all alleged.
I mean, yeah, it's really insane. I know that this is hard for people to wrap their head around, but we have to be willing to give everybody the same energy. There's nobody, if you are an abuser.
And this is my thing. Y'all were so quick to once Kendrick Todd talking about Drake being with minors. Exactly. Y'all did not give Drake any grace. And yes, you could be like, but we saw that he was in the Stranger Things girls' DMs. We also have rumors, not even rumors. We also have people in interviews talking about shit with Jay-Z. So it's allegedly. So what I'm trying to say is, why is it that with Drake we don't have the same energy for Jay-Z? Let's think to ourselves. Like that, to me, like keep the same energy.
It's all about a parasocial relationship, because at the end of the day, you have never met either one of these two, and even
and you never will.
And you never will. And even if you have, it was a millisecond out of their whole real life.
You are a blimp. They don't even remember it. Your existence, they don't even remember. Let that sink in. Okay.
And so it is just like, there's no way. And I just, when I listened to Whacked Out Murals, and then he said, okay, nigga, let's settle it. These niggas been fake loyal. Since y'all pandering to choose a side, let me do it for you. Okay, fuck your hip hop. I watched the party just die. Niggas cackling about P-Diddy while all y'all's on trial. And then when he said, "You niggas live in denial, fuck anybody's empathetic to the other side." Like, that is how I feel, bro. Like, you guys are being delusional. And I get, like, okay, you know.
And it's the thing, if we're wrong, we'll say we're wrong on the mic when it comes out.
And okay, I'm like,
but I still think he's shady, even if it came out that he didn't do it.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Even if it's not this one particular situation and this one case gets thrown out and it turns out to be not true, I have enough evidence to show me that this nigga is not
nasty.
Okay with me. And okay, last thing, I'm so happy I remembered that.
And then we're getting off. Okay.
The last thing I'm so happy I remembered is the fact that he's talking about he has to now sit down, Blue, and explain.
For you to even bring in your daughter is disgusting to me.
That's for one. For two, are you serious? Like, you have so many other things.
She can listen to your fucking music, nigga.
She can listen to your music. I'm sure she has plenty of questions about everything, anything and everything. You know, she wants to know about Aaliyah. You know, she wants to know about all of these things. Oh, Mello. Yay, we get to see Mello. But yeah, let's end it on that note. I'm just over it.
To be continued. I'm sure more things will come out, whether it's dropped or whether there's more to the story.
And y'all, we probably will be mostly talking about this on our Patreon because there's gonna be so much coming out.
Because we don't want to get doxxed. Okay, we have to have some privacy. For some of the stuff we're gonna be saying.
Yes, because at the end of the day, it's like these are people. I feel. Oh my God, like my heart just breaks for Blue, this beautiful girl. I just saw on Beyonce's website, she like only posted the pictures of her, and it's just like, but even it's just crazy. It's just trying to like turn their attention away.
And this is the thing. Anybody that is going to use their child as a way to like shield and put them, even if it's positive, put them in the spotlight to deflect from them.
Yes,
it's sinister. You shouldn't want to bring her anywhere near any of these allegations. So please, I hope that somebody checked him on that. Please don't ever mention her in any statement regarding this because she doesn't need to be. She doesn't need to be at all linked in any way, even if it's just anything else.
And you don't owe me my wife. It's just like, I don't have to be your wife, nigga. Like,
but she might have been like, when she read my wife, like,
I don't know.
We love you, never know what's but we on. Are judging you.
We're oh my God! And speaking of judging, we're gonna do hopefully next week. We're gonna do we listen and we don't judge.
Yes.
So we'll think of some things.
All right. So if you like, subscribe, comment to our podcast on Apple or Spotify, Instagram,
you're like starting to say YouTube. A poem.
I know. And yeah, talk to you later, friend.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Peace.
And I just remember we all thought we were fucking Beyonce.
The rapping singer ass bitch, Beyonce.
You sat up here on Beyonce's internet. Beyonce. I like respect Beyonce for not complaining. Beyonce. So like I feel like someone with as big of a platform as Beyonce, who like some people see her as like their god.
We love when Beyonce talks to us and how like some of Beyonce's lyrics are just
let's like back it up.
We gotta be real like this because we talk about this in the context of Beyonce a lot because we love Beyonce so much and we talk about her all the time. Beyonce only had like 2 relationships. Maybe Beyonce did say that love is her weakness. Oh my goodness. I thought I was gonna be I was gonna say Beyonce.
So I wanted to talk about Beyonce.
Beyonce, the girl.
Yes.
She is coming for us, okay? I always am excited to see Beyonce perform. Like, I love this lady.
I'm obviously first and foremost a Beyonce fan, and I love Beyonce. Like, this is like, you can love something and critique it, as I always say. Beyonce's gonna ride in a horse, 16 carriages
cool.
is gonna be playing.
On Beyonce's internet.
One thing I feel like we know about Beyonce is that like her team is watching. No one's above a critique, but I have heard either Beyonce in a song, on a stage, through her husband, in many different platforms, talk about, in a magazine, in an interview. Like, one thing we've learned about Beyonce is that she like listens to us. So I do think this is gonna be more of a celebration of like black
because
Cowboys.
we've been asking for these visuals.
But this is a good segue into Beyonce.
Thank you so much for listening. Remember to email us your discussion topics at whoamitojudgepod@gmail.com. Also, remember to subscribe to Who Am I to Judge podcast on Spotify and everywhere you get your podcast. If you love us, please rate us and review. And if you don't, leave us alone. Tell a friend to tell a friend. See y'all next week. Bye, friends.